Here we're going to show you how you can use Git to version your configurations for the Marlin 3D printer firmware for Arduino. So first we've just got our Marlin project as we've shown in the previous video appearing in the top right, and we're just going to make some changes to our configuration.h. So first we're going to search for that and open it, and if we just collapse back the view, and we can then begin to work out what we want to change. So we've got a number of 3D printers with different motherboards. So first we're going to get to that point, and all we're going to change is the configuration. So we want to set up our Git repository, which we can do from the Git menu as shown here, and you could push this to a remote repository or your enterprise one, but here we're just going to work locally. So make sure the folder name's correct and then press create. And that will take just a second, and then we can see at the bottom of the window now it says that we're using the Marlin Git project, which is what it's called locally, and we're going to create a new branch to store our first configuration, which will be for the old ramps boards. So you're not allowed spaces in your branch names, so give them an appropriate name for what kind of configuration they're going to hold, and then just press create. And as you can see at the bottom, because we checked that out, we're now on that branch, and you can switch back by selecting another branch, and as you can see the motherboard will change back. So then we're going to create our secondary branch, as we're going to want two different configurations to match our two different printers, and this will be the TNC3536 configuration. So we'll just create that as we did before, and you could base this on another branch instead of master, but because we're forking from that point, that's all we need to do. So if we just press F12 to jump to where the boards are defined in the boards.h, we can then go and select the board for our TNC3536 setup. So if we replace that and save the file, we can go and commit this now to our branch. So if we just go to the Git commit or stash menu, we can add in a message to describe what we've changed. So in this case it was just the motherboard, and then ensure that you're pushing to the right branch and press commit all, and that's it. So that's our first branch updated. So we're going to need to switch over to the ramps branch and repeat the process for that printer to make sure it's got its different configuration. So again we'll just change that and go and check that in to that branch. So now we have our master and we have two separate branches for our two separate printers, and if we just switch between the master we have the original, and then if we go to one of our newer branches you can see the changes are now within those. So it makes it much easier to manage your separate configurations for all your different setups or test environments easily through the branches in Git locally in Visual Studio. So if we go to the Manage Branches window, this gives you a more detailed view, and you can see the graph of the changes as to where they've been branched from others, as well as extra tags that you can create and the change history. If you just view the commit details, you can double click on the changed files to see a side-by-side diff with highlighting as to what's actually changed between the change sets. So it's even easier to inspect work that may not have been done by yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe and look at our other videos if you've enjoyed this one.